Hi, good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? Welcome to a match recap from the Rochdale game this afternoon. I'm joined with special guests this afternoon. First of all, as an apology, I haven't been up here again for a preview. Bad week for myself, man. Bad week. But hopefully next week will be a bit better. So I'm joined with some special guests today. I'm joined by Charlie, who's engorging on a chocolate pudding over there. He's absolutely loving it. It's a shame we don't do. I haven't got the budget yet to do video cameras or anything. We've got Dom. Everyone's to my right hand side. I'm just pointing at everyone. We've got Dom to my right and Chloe's on her phone. I don't know if you're going to get any words in it too. But Rovers took on Rochdale this afternoon. Then a game which I predicted a 1-1 draw, and I was spot fucking on. I was spot on because it was just going to be one of those games where I had a feeling where you just knew there weren't going to be a lot of goals coming out of it. Rochdale, they're lower mid-table. You quite finished?
Yeah, I've done that.
He's done that. You can just hear the metal jargon, man. But Rochdale, they're bottom part of the table. And Rovers, it was almost similar to the game against Hull and Burton in a way. You'd have to get that close. And no, there was just no real penetration again. The second half was better, but to be honest, Dom, there wasn't a whole lot.
I'll tell you what, Jay. If I just sum that performance up with one sound, right, it'll be.
Yes.
It'll be that, right? It was, I don't know, we got the goal. It was a great goal by Sam Nicholson, to be fair. It was a fantastic little goal. I mean, the defending was awful, but we got the goal, and we were all sat here just begging them to kick on and go and grab another one, maybe even another one after that. But we get the first goal, and it just sit back. We just sit back. It's almost like Garner tells Handon and Daly, like, you cannot go past the halfway line. Once we get a goal, you cannot go past that halfway line.
It's Donald Trump's wall.
Exactly.
That's something.
It was very lacklustre. It's one of the most uninspiring sort of. Whenever we go forward, it is one of the most uninspiring sort of attacks that I've seen. Like, yeah.
No, definitely. And you look at it. You got the players that we've got going forward, Westbrook, and you got players like Nicholson starting today. But then you look at the defence today. Let us down again today, Charlie. A goal, avoidable goal there. You let in there.
I mean, it was Sunday League goal, really, wasn't it? It was a ball over the top, just.
You defended better than that one.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, obviously,
definitely.
It's not even a question. But yeah, no, it was Sunday League standard defending, wasn't it? A ball over the top, lumped forward, and didn't deal with it, and it's just.
So inside their own half though as well.
It's just a lump forward, and we didn't deal with it.
No.
But it's. I don't think it's a case of the players we got ain't good enough. I don't know. I think it just needs to change up. This team, or the back line at least, have been playing the same game 4 or 5 games in a row now.
Yeah.
I think Alfie's got to be given the opportunity to cement his spot again. And I think a change at the back would be good. Too many mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. It's individual errors. Do you think, what about Kilgore there, Dom? Do you reckon Tuesday's too soon for Kilgore to come back in? It's a big game against Peterborough, but then Kilgore knows how to deal with Clark Harris.
There's that. I seriously worry. I mean, they scored 5 today. I seriously worry for us against them on Tuesday, I think. But we just need. I'd love to see Alfie come back in. I'm a big fan of his, but we just looked knackered. By sort of halfway through the first half, we just looked like I said, we were sat back inviting all the press and that, and we just looked absolutely shattered. And I mean, you can say it's not surprising, but we didn't have the game against Accrington, did we? So we had we had an extended break for that, then had the whole game, and then we've come into today, and yeah, it looked like we played yesterday. It looked like we literally just finished the whole game, and they've gone like, right, lads, get back out on that pitch, go and get us a win. And we just looked shattered. But yeah, I think if we played the same team on Tuesday, I fear.
The thing is, when you look at it, Charlie, you look at the players that we had going forward, and then you look at us bringing on McCormick. When you've got Otztuma on the bench, as far as unless I missed it, I don't think he had any minutes at all. He didn't come on at all.
No, he didn't.
Mitchell Lawson, I will say, it was one of those games where it was very difficult to keep your attention on. I think, I will say, as a disclaimer during the recording here, we are waiting for the Prime Minister to make his press conference. We've been waiting since like 4 o'clock this afternoon.
I'm looking forward to this more than I am to the second half of that game.
So I will say it's one of those games you were kind of not really perhaps paying attention as much as what I should have been anyway. But you look at it, Charlie, Mitchell Lawson came on, a bit more energy up towards Hanlon at the end there. Can you see that perhaps starting on Tuesday? Or
I don't think he'll start. I think the way he came into the game with 20 minutes or half an hour to go, he came on with a fresh set of legs and he was fast against the Turk defenders. I think that's what he's good utilised as in like that being his job. But it was just boring, wasn't it? It was like you say, it wasn't that we struggled to watch it. It was just having a chat with your mates was more interesting than watching the football today. And
that's like majority of our games have been. And
yeah, I mean, it's not, like Dom said as well, it ain't exciting going forward.
No.
I mean, it ain't quite as bad as when we had Mr. Coughlin in charge. I mean, that was lackluster. But it's hard because we've seen spells of us playing some really, really, really attractive football. But then as soon as we get the goal, it's all like, right, okay, let's put the 2 wingers back as wing backs, and Grant is going to sit just in front of the midfield, and then we've got bloody Westbrook, Daly, and Sam Nicholson weren't allowed past the halfway line. And Hanlon was just at the top, running and running and running. And it's like you've got 10 men in your own half by bloody the 20th minute mark. And it's just strange when we know we've got the ability to play passing football and tear teams apart. When you do it right, you tear teams apart.
Oh, definitely.
And we can do that. We've shown that we can do that. But we don't do it as soon as we're 1 goal up, and it's just silly.
Dom, do you reckon it's a difficult one at the moment because it almost seems as though as soon as, like Charlie said, as soon as Rovers score a goal, we revert backwards. And again, I think this is another game where we scored relatively early on today, and it's almost similar to the game against Hull where we kind of just thought, we'll give it another 10 minutes and then see what happens.
Same against Burton as well.
And Burton as well.
Exactly, it is. You can see sort of. Like if this is what Garner's asking them to do, they're doing a cracking job getting that 1 goal and sitting on it. But it's just especially when we started off, I think we all sort of like perked up and we were like, hang on, this Rochdale team is they were. It was basically I think I said it towards the end of the second half. It was very similar to the Burton game. Burton didn't look great at all at the back. We knew going into that game that they weren't great and. I mean, I'm not sure to be honest. I know Rochdale were near us on the table, but they couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together in the first half. And fair enough, we took advantage of that with Nicholson's goal. But you just wanted them to push on, and they just didn't do it. And and we've got I think we've got with Westbrook in the middle. Obviously, Grant was sort of playing that more sort of, as he does play that defensive role. Westbrook has sort of more freedom, I think, without McCormick in there to sort of with more creativity in that, which you could sort of see he was going for. But it was almost like towards the end of the game when Mitchell Lawson came on and we were sort of playing on the counter attack. It would get to Hanlon or Mitchell Lawson, and then it was the final product as well. The final product as well just hasn't been good enough. Because we get through, Hanlon would be in behind the defence, and it would just break down. I think there was a chance at the end. I don't know if was it Nicholson had it. I think Nicholson had the ball and had the chance to play it out wide to JML or out to Hanlon, and it just took way too long. But like I said, I think it just boils down to the fact they look absolutely knackered.
Yeah, and it's one to be said as well because you look at the Rovers fixtures so far. Rovers haven't really had the massive amounts of fixtures that other teams had. I know Rovers have only had one game postponed at the moment, and with everything going on with the current situation now, we don't know what's going on in regards to what could potentially happen to the season should another lockdown come in. I don't know if we're going to do another separate piece on this at the moment. But Rovers, like I said, they've not had the Saturday, Tuesday that other teams have had. I mean, Rose have got another game Tuesday against Peterborough, and then I think it's the FA Cup, and then you get a couple of weeks in between, so where you've not got midweek games. But it's one of those situations where, yes, it's frustrating, but to try and look on a positive today, which I think is always a neat way to end on, Charlie, is it's the first goal for Nicholson, who's got a chance today. We've not really seen much from him so far. And it's only 3 defeats out your first 9, which isn't too bad. And, you look at the teams you've lost to, they're all at the right end of the table. There's a lot of beef in this division now. It's not like how we were 10 years ago where you had your Leeds, Norwich, and maybe Millwall in there, and they were your top 3. Now we've got top 6 or 7, which are real.
Like you say, like the teams
force.
we have lost to, we have only lost 3 games out of 9.
Yeah.
And the teams we have lost to is before the season started, you would have expected us to lose
Yeah.
to. Well, even Sunderland, we drew with Sunderland. I would have expected to lose that game. But then again, on the other end of the stick, some of the games that we won, I wouldn't have expected to win. So, it swings and roundabouts. But I think, like you say, looking on a positive note, it's another game unbeaten in the month of October. I think 1 loss throughout October is a good record for Garner, where he was at the start of October. I don't think many people were expecting to only lose 1 game this month.
No.
I think today we're all a bit down in the dumps, really, because we could see the 3 points were there for the taking and weren't taken. So, it's a bit gutting, but like I say, point on the road and still unbeaten. Well, not still unbeaten, but a game that we didn't lose. So I think, positives, that's that.
It's one of those games there. It's difficult to really kind of go in detail. Dom, like I said, what 3 defeats out your first 9, you're coming up to a quarter point of the season now, sort of, I think Tuesday will be 10 games. We're around mid-table. That's where Rovers we thought we would be. It's not too terrible, but nothing too inspiring either.
No, I think we've just nailed it. I think it's just, it's not inspiring. And I think, like you said, if you sort of said that we'd be where we are at this stage in the season, I think fans would sort of go, all right, then I think obviously there were a lot of fans that were hopeful with all the signings that we'd be higher up, but that was never really going to happen with the other teams in the league, was it? So, I just like to see us kick on more, and if we get into these games against the poorer sort of opposition, and when you can see they're there for the taking, we just need to have that sort of hunger and the fight, which I don't really see us having at the moment, and it's difficult, but I think. I ain't going to jump on this Garner out brigade. I'd like to see him do well. To be honest, I'd like to see his plans come into fruition. But that is a big word. To be honest, I'm not sure what it means. But no. But we were. I think that was the word that sort of summed us up today. It was uninspiring.
100%. So, Charlie, while you're in the corner, who would your man of the match be this afternoon?
Oh, Christ. The ref? I don't know.
The gas heads.
Yeah. I don't really know, to be honest. I think Hamlin, every time he had the ball, he kind of looked to do something, and he was the only one in our kind of attack that, I think Daly still had a good game, and Nicholson obviously took his goal really well. But I think Nicholson, a couple of misplaced passes and stuff like that, and I think that whenever Hamlin had the ball to feet, he was always looking, can I turn this man here, or can I put the ball there and chase after it? And I think, for me, I'd probably say Hamlin.
Dom?
I think Hamlin's a good shot. He looked lively again. It's just he's got no service, has he?
No.
Absolutely. And then when we were playing on the counter attack, it was just the end product. It's difficult. Like you said, the defence didn't have a great game either. I don't think Hare and Tatonda were as involved as they have been recently. Westbrook had a few little glimpses in the middle, but I'd give it. I'd say Nicholson. He took his goal really well. We said right at the start it was a very important game for him because he hasn't really got into the team yet, and he was one of the signings I was sort of most excited for. Him and Westbrook were the 2 that I was looking forward to seeing. But it was a really important game for him today, and he took his goal really well. But we just needed to kick on again. But go on, Nicholson. Have it for the goal, son. Have it for the goal.
I will agree with you on Nicholson on that one. Yeah, he took his goal well, and I was pleased for him there. But like again, one of those games where bright spells, dull spells, kind of just a middle of the road game really. But things were picking up a little bit towards the end. It's going to be a tough one against Peterborough on Tuesday. That'll do it for me today. Thank you so much for listening to this one. It's good to have a couple of guests on again.
Cheers, Jake.
Anytime. Well, thanks for welcoming into your home, Charlie, which we don't know if we'll be, and Chloe as well. Can't forget you, of course, there. But obviously, with how the things are going on in the current situation in the world, the UK, really, we don't know if we can do any more of these in a certain period of time.
We're about to be updated.
We're about to be updated.
Within the next hour.
Yeah.
Within the next hour, we might do another separate recording on this because it's quite, I think, a big debate. I think with not just with COVID in the country at the moment, but I think in regards to sport as well. Should there be a lockdown? What's going to happen with sport? Sounds like a really silly question, but you see countries like France and the Germans carrying on with their elite football. I'm guessing as League One would be classed as elite. So I guess we will all find out. Thank you so much for listening to this one. Have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. If you're going out for Halloween, have fun, I guess.
6 people, please.
Six people.
6 people.
2 meters apart.
2 meters
And
apart.
no coffin.
No coughing, yeah, and don't knock on my door because you'll get fuck all from me. And so I'll see you all very, very soon. Have a good weekend. Take care. Bye bye.